Hey, Brian here from RVwithtito.com, and today it's a pretty exciting day because I finally get to make some pretty significant changes here to the living area inside of our Class C motorhome. Now our RV's been through a lot. We've had it for 11 years now, and we've been through the kid phase where we've needed a lot of extra sleeping area for our two kids, plus maybe even a couple of friends that want to tag along on a long trip with us. So for those reasons, we have this great overhead bunk area in the Class C, which can sleep a couple people, and this jackknife sofa here which folds out to a little bed, as well as the dinette which also converts to a bed. But things have totally changed, obviously, for Melissa and I. It's primarily just the two of us traveling now, and we're excited to make a change and customize this living space specifically for our needs. So if you're looking to make a change in your RV, maybe you're in a similar situation or just don't like the layout of the interior, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of these remodel videos I'm going to be posting here in this series. Now the first thing I need to do is to just get everything out of here and see what I have to work with in this space. So I'm going to remove the couch, the dinette, the blinds, the valances, everything, and then I'll show you what I have planned for this whole space. So yeah, let's get to it. So the first thing I'm noticing here with this sofa gone is just how much more roomy it is in here. That really did take up a lot of space, and for sleeping it was too short, and even for watching TV up there, it just really wasn't a great spot because you'd have to lay here and look up, and once the TV swiveled out. So there's a number of things we want to do to solve some problems in this area, and the first one is to address one of the big pet peeves that we have, which is places to put your shoes. Because I'm sure this is a common problem, but you come in the door, you got dirty shoes or wet shoes, and you really have no place to put them except in your traffic area where you walk, or your living space, and they end up just usually piling up here in the stairwell, and you end up stepping all over them. So we need a place to put our shoes to solve that big problem. Another issue that we've always had, especially with Melissa and I just being on the road now, is that we want a nice workspace to be able to have a desk area, a place to work, so that we don't always have to sit at this dinette. So that's where we've normally worked, is at the dinette. Let me share with you the plan for this, which is to build a custom piece of furniture. Now it's going to have to do a lot of things because we got a desk, we want a shoe rack. I also want a place to, I want the desk to be able to also function as a dining room table if we want it to. And I'm going to have some folding chairs that I still need to find some folding chairs. So if you have any tips on folding chairs that are nice and can stow away nicely, let me know in the comments. Also, I want to be able to move the TV into this area instead of up there in the corner. What I've done is I've kind of come up with a preliminary design for a piece of furniture that I'm going to have to build. And yeah, so on this side I'll have a shoe rack, and then in the back cabinet is going to be where this TV is going to be, and I want it to be retractable, so when it comes down you won't see it and the top will close. I also want the top of this area to kind of function like a bar. So we have the 2 chairs. We can kind of sit up there and look out the window, have a couple of cocktails, and but also when you want the TV to come up, you can bring the TV up and also use it as part of the desk when the TV's down. The table part, I was coming up with this idea of just having a versatile cabinet that has leaves that kind of flip up and down. So when you're not using them, you can flip them down, and when you're using them, you can flip them up and create a couple of different desk type configurations. When you're not using the table or the desk or the TV, everything kind of folds up nicely up to about here, I think. It won't stick out as far as the couch did, and it'll be nice and secure up against this wall. That's the idea. I'm working on some plans. I still have some work to do to figure out some of those details, but you know, with the sofa gone, I can see here that I've got something I got to deal with here, and this is the outside entertainment center. I'm gonna probably end up removing this because I rarely use it, and that's sticking out here right where I think my automatic TV mount is gonna go. So I need it to be probably about right there. So that's probably gonna go, and I'll fill it with something. But you can see I got a few things under here. I got some seat belts. Not sure what I can do about that. I might just coil them up and just leave them there. The good news is I already have DC power and AC power coming to this spot because I'm going to need it for the to be able to power some electronics and provide outlets for our desktop setup and the TV. So that's good. I'll be able to rewire some of this instead of having to run power from somewhere else. All right, let's get to the dinette. Time to tear that sucker apart. So I was hoping to get this box out in one piece, but I ran into an issue which I knew about, but there are some electrical wires going through the wall into the refrigerator area. Right here you can see they're going into the cabinet and through behind the refrigerator. I went in behind the refrigerator access and I couldn't see them, so they're hidden in a place where I can't get to it right now. So I can't necessarily just pull this out, so I'm going to have to disassemble it piece by piece so I can just get to that bottom piece of wood and get it out, and without having to cut any wires. Time to take the sucker apart. So check out all the staples they have. So look at this. It's kind of a pain to take apart. Look at all that. And then down here too. Look at that right there. Basically pull that off. Oh. There we go. Staple City, man. All right. All right, last step here is to remove this seat belt bracket that was underneath the bench seat of the Dinette. And you know, we've never really used it, so we've just had the seat belts tucked underneath. But I was able to cut away that panel that was behind here without damaging these wires that are going through somewhere underneath the refrigerator compartment. So I ran into a bit of a snag here, and it turns out, I didn't see this the first time, but turns out the cables, some of the power lines that run through here actually run through this bracket. So I can't just take this seatbelt bracket out without doing something about the cables. Now a couple of them are just simple electrical lines, but one of them is the actual power line that goes from the generator, which is underneath here, all the way to the back of the RV, to the power distribution and the transfer switch and all that. So I am certainly not going to just cut this cable and fix it. So what I want to do, let me just show you what I'm talking about. They run through this bracket here. This is the one that I'm most concerned about. This is the generator 30 amp cable. So what I'm going to end up doing to get this out is I'm just going to cut a slot out of this bracket, probably right about here, so that I'll be able to slide these cables through that slot and be able to get the bracket out. There's one more here that goes through this other section, and it's just a 120 volt AC line. I should be able to disconnect it in this box and remove that one. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut a slot right about here. Just going to make a couple of cuts. So I should be able to take those cables out, and it shouldn't affect the integrity of this bracket if I wanted to use it again. So it's still going to be bolted on both sides on the ground. Worst case, I could always weld another piece across here to give a little bit more strength. But I think it's going to be good. So yeah. Let's cut this sucker. Okay, moving along here. I was able to just disconnect this power, this AC line right here, and I got the power shut off for this particular breaker right now. So I was able to disconnect it. So now I can remove this bracket finally. Should be nothing holding it back. There we go. Now I just gotta rewire this box, connect that power line back, and we're back in business. Okay, back in business. It's all connected. This is just the phone wire. Certainly don't need that anymore. Just gonna get rid of it. Well, with the Dinette gone, you're probably wondering what's gonna be in its place. And if you get some sort of seating area, you're absolutely right, because it'd be a perfect place to sit, right, and watch TV or look out the window right in front of you here instead of up here in the corner. A lot more comfortable and convenient that way. And originally I thought, hey, I could build a custom little couch seating area that was super comfy and had a chase lounge kind of thing that went in and out. And the more I thought about that, the more I realized that I don't know how long that would take and if it would be as comfortable as I had hoped. And we ultimately decided to go with a couple of recliners. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put a couple of really comfortable recliners right there. When we want to be comfortable, we can just kind of lay down in them. And we're pretty excited to get them in. In fact, I already have the recliners. I just haven't installed them yet. So they're from recpro.com. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to check them out before I actually install them. Now the last thing to tackle is going to be this overhead bunk area that it's quite large actually, but I plan on converting it to some sort of a storage, maybe a place for like some office stuff like a printer, scanner, things like that that I can power. I'm going to be removing the TV in here and obviously moving it down here. So probably some sort of storage that I can move if I need to, if we ever do need to convert it back to a sleeping area. Next on the project, I'm going to install some new blinds. I'm going to get some new valances up, hopefully, and take care of a lot of the electrical preparation for those recliners going in. So I'm going to probably have to rearrange and rewire some things in that whole dinette floor area. So that's going to be next, and we'll see what else I can take care of during that time. But if you want to get regular updates on this project, kind of see how things are going, in the meantime, join me over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/RV with Tito, and also hit the subscribe button here so you won't miss the next upcoming video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.